Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
okay. She's back.
hey.
She's back. If you got a pinch and run, if you got a pinch and run.
My way. Yeah. All right.
Oh, so how is things? It's been a while since we last spoke.
Yes. Things are going well, you know, I would say. Hmm. Yeah.
Um Changes in your life. You know, what is different for you now from say like a year ago?
Ooh. Well, I'm more focused directly on business now.
Okay.
Um, no time for play or volunteering anymore. I
Okay.
volunteer a lot of channels. I help here, help there. I don't have the time anymore, so a little focus on me.
How much of that was like maybe possibly outgrowing some channels because it happens. Did you experience that a lot the last year? Just pretty much outgrowing some channels, or maybe say, you know what, they got me to a point where I don't need them anymore, and I can just go ahead and branch off into something else.
In general, things change because some people never grew; they never went anywhere. So
Okay,
you can only support so much. You know,
good point. Is that a general problem that you're seeing with these channels per se?
yeah. Yes, I will say that.
Okay. Do you attribute that to just it being human nature, or maybe self sabotage, or maybe afraid to challenge themselves to take it to the next level?
Um, some people, yes and no. I
Okay.
find most people don't want to grow. They're
Okay.
fine where they are. They're comfortable. They don't want to be uncomfortable.
And do you feel that that's what we're seeing basically with these online personalities per se?
Some,
Okay.
I would say some.
Are there any channels where not for you to name names, but have you been pleasantly surprised by a few? Are there some diamonds in the rough? You're like, you know what? Okay, I like where they're going with this. I'll keep my eye on them per se.
Very few.
Okay.
Very few.
Okay. Okay. Um. Well, let's go ahead and get into it.
Okay.
Mission failure.
I love your thumbnail. You had the stamp mission failed. I'm like, wow.
it
Stamp of
is it,
this this
are you
approval.
of the consensus that the manosphere has failed, is failure?
For the definition of what I was given, yes.
Okay. What in your eyes, why do you deem it a failure?
There was some goals as far as changes for men,
Okay.
for their lives to be better. I have not seen that. And if it may be for some, but not a lot, because you see the same people repeating the same thing. They haven't
Mm.
gone anywhere. And they have the same amount of time to be online as well.
What was the last straw for you that you said, you know what, I'm done with these guys?
Kevin said, and what about Kevin? And Kevin doing good work. That did it for me because everyone came out. I'm like, you don't like Kevin. Wait a minute. You don't like him either. And it was just back to back Kevin streams every day, 7 days a week. I'm like, we don't have any updates about the man. We don't have nothing. But
Mm-hmm.
every day was Kevin's something. So
Do you think that helped to speed up the process of the demise of the space?
you know what? I'm gonna say yes, because I even agree with the stream that you had, saying that he did everyone a favor,
Hmm.
um, because he was gonna leave everybody in the dust.
Yeah.
Everybody. He was
Yeah.
gone. He was out of here.
Um, are you surprised that this influx of men have not accomplished what they sent out to be.
Am I surprised?
Are you surprised that the goals were not achieved? That they didn't do what they were going to set out to the
I,
initial
I
mission statement.
was.
Okay.
I was. I was. And it wasn't until Kevin's death where I had to just stop and think and take a break. And I'm like, you know what? The joke's on me. I'm the one that kept believing the jokes is on me. They were going to do whatever it was they were going to do, which was nothing. And I had to look around. I'm like, wait a minute, nothing's changed. The same
Mm.
players or some new players,
Okay.
but nothing changed.
Okay. So, did you see any positives at all, or do you just pretty much see it like this was just it was just doomed from the beginning, and there's not enough silver linings to kind of dissuade your opinion otherwise?
I wouldn't say it was doomed from the beginning. I'm going to say there were some collaborations
Okay.
and there were some people that made good connections and did some business transactions and kind of expanded a little bit. A
Okay.
small circle though,
Okay.
but it still happened with tech and some other different things. So,
Okay. So, with you being in business, um, well, I know what I want to ask. How I want to ask it. Okay. With you being in business, um, ooh, the business of the Manosphere, how they conduct their business, is that just pretty much a representation of urban folks running businesses in real life? Are we really surprised at this point? Like it's the way it is.
okay, so yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. Um, it is some the way they're acting as far as a business person. A lot of people are not even business like
Okay.
with their conversation. The length of time being online, I have to repeat that, the length of time being online, because you don't have that type of time.
Hmm.
You don't have 5 or 6 hours to be online talking to people.
Hmm.
You got a life outside that camera.
Now, what if they can justify it based off a monetary gain per hour? So if there's somebody was on for 5 hours and they made, let's say, $50 an hour, is it worth it to you? Would you say, okay, that was worth you being online for 5 hours? You made $50 an hour.
But talking about what? That's the
Okay,
question.
so now does the content matter as well to you?
Okay, so I was just thinking manosphere, just straight what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the business, but like I said with tech, you think of somebody. What's my man in New York? Cehova.
See over, yeah.
He he's busy. The man got stuff to do outside.
Mm-hmm.
He actually has a business because I was going to use him when I was going to do I was going to set up everything, my lights and all that stuff, and start doing live streams that
Mm-hmm.
way for 2023. But I decided I wasn't going that direction.
Okay.
And he actually has a business. He's actually like got everything set up. There's
Mm-hmm.
not no huh. That and when he's online, he's giving you information.
Mm-hmm.
So he let's say he does a 3 hour stream, but he's giving you information. He's talking about cameras and equipment and different things. There's no he say she says type of stuff. And let's say Ciova did make some money being online, okay, but that is something that he's doing. He's taking time out from his business on the side or his 9 to 5. I say that business to say, hey, let me bring some of these ideas and my services to YouTube to help people. So that's
Okay.
fine, regardless if you made some money or no money at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say he's advertising. So, okay.
Okay. Getting back to the content per se, what is it? What's the draw? Do you think when it comes to relationships? Why is it that once relationships get brought up, it's like It's the bad signal. It's the bees to the honey. It's like everybody puts everything down
Hmm.
to either tune in or to chime in about relationships. I can't ever recall a time in my life that it was this important to have a conversation about said relationships, good, bad, or indifferent. How does that to you? What does that even look like, sound like to you?
To me, I don't get it. Um, if I was a male and a man in search of information on how to have a better relationship, I'll come to the channel, I'll look around, see who's saying something that tangible, something I actually can do,
Okay.
and I may stick with those few channels. But all day, every day, 10, 15 channels, no, that's just a waste of time. Because when are you going to set foot out on outside, touch grass, and go practice some of those things that people are saying about the women that you want?
Okay. So who do you put the onus on? The content creator or the content consumer?
Ah, well, they both go in tandem, so can't really say one or the other. There's a it's a draw for it. You put it up there, and they're like, oh, let me look at that. They like it, so here they come. They flock into it.
Do you think the traffic received is a proper reflection of what's outside? Do you think people really are outside really craving these conversations, wanting to speak their piece about relationships? Because when I go out, I don't hear people. I don't see it. I really don't. Unless you ask somebody, you catch somebody on a bad day, they had a bad breakup, whatever, and you bring up some PTSD. But for the most part, when I'm out and about, I don't see it. So is this a false representation of what of reality, or is there a legit pocket of people that are legit having problems, and the only way they can vent and get it out to spread the word is to come online and do so?
Ugh. There's some I think a lot of things involved with that. There's some fantasy.
Okay.
There's some reaching out to people hunger or
Okay.
desires, which is kind of still part of fantasy.
Okay.
But it doesn't. It never feed. They're never fed though. They're always hungry. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Some of the same names I see, they're still hungry.
How disappointed are you in men at this point because of this content? Or you just don't
It,
apply that you don't apply that to men that you deal with outside.
no, I
You just
don't know. I don't know what this between this square box. I don't know what they got going on there. Outside, I don't run into those type of things. In my
okay.
house, we don't have them problems, so
Okay.
I don't know nothing about that. I am disappointed about what I thought was the goal,
Okay.
and me applying time to helping. I really thought there was going to be a change.
Okay. It's 2025. Nothing's changed so far. Do you think we will experience more of the same rhetoric, or do you see there's going to be some type of paradigm shift, and the conversation might shift a little bit more towards, okay, what type of resolution, or are we going to push solutions at this point? Do you see that at happen?
That's a joke, even asking the question. The SBE is going to change a tad bit. It's just the way they're going to feed it to you. It's now everybody's on a couch or in a studio.
Okay.
That's how they serve your SBE that way. It's going to be the same, just served differently.
What do you say to I'll say the elder statesmen of the space that say we got to keep repeating these points for the new guys coming in. We got to get them up to speed on what's really going on out here. Mind you, it's the same. message for the last 7, 8 years. So, for
Hmm.
one, what do you say about to men that that's their angle for one, and then for two, how much more longer should we keep pumping this message until we get to a point of solutions?
Okay. For the elders, I've actually seen or heard some of the elders actually say, "Hey, young man, hey, young brother," and try to give a solution. And then the person or people that don't want to hear it, they kind of attack them. You don't know what you're talking about. These women, or it's different out here, and your time was,
Mm,
and that type of thing. So um, they kind of they like hearing stuff from their peers, you know. And people are their heroes. And I'll give you an example. What is his name? Ramil. Do you know he's actually looked at as a hero?
oh yeah. Oh, they worship Ramil. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Ramil would have been if I had a son in my shoot. I still would have been a teen, but let's just say 20 years old.
Hmm.
Okay, so he would have been, that my child would have been that generation. So I would have to. I get he's the hero. They worship him. It's like you getting what? You do what to these women?
Yeah.
You said what to them? And you still got this? That he's a hero. That man is a hero.
Is that part of the problem to your vantage point?
I don't think so because those who want what they desire, you can listen to him because he's out there. He's actually
Mhm.
touching grass.
Okay.
And the type of women that's around him, or, I guess around him, he can get to them. And he's saying you can too. So I get it. I get it. He just give me instructions. Okay, this is how I do it. You can do it too. I get it.
Would you advise young men to partake in the discussions, listen to the rhetoric, all types of rhetoric, or would you say, you know what, if you're gonna go online and go down that rabbit hole, here's who you should look into, and nobody else?
Hmm. I don't know if I have a list. I would have to really think about a list, but I say whatever your choice is, just be careful out there. That's what I
Okay.
got to say. Please be careful.
Huh. Okay. When you hear the young men speak, do you believe their experiences or what's happening to them is real as far as their dating experiences? Do you can you empathize to a certain extent? Like, okay, I get it. It must really be bad out here for y'all. May not have been bad for us, but
Yeah,
I would concede that it's different for you guys. And
definitely different.
okay,
I understand. However, some I think are just pushing it. It's not that bad.
okay,
Like say, let's say 10 channels, content creators come online, and nine of them said it's just horrific.
hmm,
I would say I'll give you four out of the 10. Okay, it might be that bad. The other six, you all have a chance. Just
okay.
have to try something different. Move around. Get out the area. Just stop looking in the same zip code.
How much mental health is an issue? Do you believe?
Say that again.
How much of mental health is an
Mm,
issue with these men?
mental health. Not, it may not even be. It's just lack of knowledge, lack of experience. I could say that. It's not all mental illness. No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay, so we are willing to give the younger guys a pass because of lack of experience and them being youthful. Is that fair to say?
Oh, fair. That's fair.
Okay, now let's to the older guys.
Uh oh.
Now, because this is where I mean, at the end of the day, this is where the problem lies, and it's the older guys. Okay, how much of mental health issues is it with the older guys?
Some could just be angry. They could just be just angry about some things. Mental illness. See, that's kind of pushing it. You got to kind of get in the person's head and just really find out. It's kind of hard to say that unless it's kind of hard to say that. But I
Okay,
think some guys may just be angry about looking back at their lives, because um, now this is my experience. So hey, don't beat me up. In the '80s, it was a little bit harder. It wasn't as easy. In the '90s, women started getting a little bit more adventurous.
okay,
And after that, in my opinion, if they handed everything out, they handed relationships out. So I don't get it.
okay. So if that's the case, and we believe in survival of the fittest when it comes to nature, why is it such a taboo thing to tell a certain sect of men you're just nature doesn't deem you fit to mate with these women? I don't understand why are we tiptoeing around that part of the conversation?
Because I ain't gonna get no super chat if I do that. And I don't give you any hope. I gotta give you some hope. If that super chat come back tomorrow, get this game for you.
So you think that would be that have an adverse effect on their channels if they just say, hey, you're just not that guy, it's just not in you? Like you
Yeah,
think?
I think
Mm,
so. They should. Somebody should be creative and bring some nice looking women or a woman. Just start off with one,
mhm.
and long as she's nice looking, and have her. Well, they're doing that already. Pineapple show, so they're doing that. That will, but they don't want to hear that. I get you. That hurts. But if you tell the truth, there's no hope. There's no imagination. There's nothing left. Show's
Okay.
over.
When they have the discussions that their rhetoric is having an actual effect on the outside world, do you believe that's true?
Outside world. No, not really. I would say you might run into someone by accident and you hear something that someone have said online and you're like, oh, they must listen to the Manosphere. But an effect? No, no. Because I don't know. Do anyone have a medallion that says I graduated from Manosphere School and I get laid 5 days out of 7? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I asked that question for a reason because I look at these young athletes still getting married, still having babies with these evil gold digging women, still rolling the dice. And I'm like, okay, so where's the awareness? Where's this philosophy you guys have bastardized for the last 8 years? I don't see the effects of it. I just don't. Even, you know, these billionaires that get divorced, I don't see them poo pooing about how she ruined his life. She took half his money. I don't see the translation from online to the real world, which is why I asked that question because I just don't see the impact that they're having, that they claim that they're having.
Hmm. I don't know. I never really got that as far as taking half your money or you got minimum wage or let's say you got $20 an hour. I mean, what is she going to get? 5 of that? I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I never heard anything that actually had a tangible number,
Mhm.
just the word half. That's the only thing I heard, the word half.
Well, yeah, I knew married couples that couldn't afford a divorce. It was cheaper for them to stay together. Now they may be separated and have personal outside lives of each other, but they're not going down to the court to file a divorce because it would just wreck them financially. So
Hmm.
That is, I think that's one like an underlying current that nobody for some odd reason talks about for whatever reason. But um, I just don't see the overall impact or any modicum of impact that they're having with the rhetoric. It just comes off as this blowing hot air. She hurt you. Okay, get it off your chest. Come online, and
Hmm.
everybody trauma bond, hold hands together, because that's the overall consensus from people outside looking in on these guys. Am I
Yeah,
off? Okay.
that's true. That's what they're on the outside looking in, like, what the world going on over there?
Okay.
Okay.
S- the new guys coming in, the new content creators, seem to have a better grasp of life per se. Have you picked up on that at all, or is that something you're aware of?
I've seen a few.
Why do you think that is, if that's the case?
Well, you got to add something new to the pot. I mean, if you just keep getting the same thing, the traction is going to wear off.
Okay.
There's just so many how to you can do. There's just so many. Somebody come in fresh with something a little bit different, then some eyes are going to pivot to see what's going on over there. So I get that, but I say, like, I got really busy November, so I'm kind of out of loop about anything late November and December. Just forget about it. All I can do is just scroll through my phone and see, oh, that one live, this one doing that, and that's about it. I was busy.
Okay, let me ask you. Okay, so the small sector of the married guy sector. Okay, there's a sector of married guys.
Didn't know about that. Okay.
Okay, so over the last couple of years, they've felt more and more inclined to come out and talk. Because for the
Okay.
last few, because I remember if they found out you were married, they kick you out. They kick you out the chat, off the
Right.
panel.
Right. How
You know,
dare you? Mhm.
yeah. So first thing, what is it about marriage that frightens these men to the point where they don't even want to have a discussion? Like marriages, you say marriage and the boogeyman shows up at your doorstep. What is it? Can you, if you can put into words? It's so
I don't know.
polarizing.
I don't know. I can guess. Maybe the word stability.
Mhm.
You know, that's the only thing I can guess. Or maybe, well, stability's, you won the prize. You are where a lot of men want to be. So no sense talking to you. We don't need you around. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Do you think that marriage requires a level of commitment and responsibility that I think a lot of men are inherently afraid of?
Mm. I don't know if they're afraid of, but yes, it is some responsibility. And yeah, there's a level of responsibility that's need to be maintained.
Okay, now I ask you, what responsibilities do you think married guys should have if they come online to engage these guys in these conversations? Do you think there should be a specific talking point for them that they should be spreading, as opposed to, all the women are bad per se?
I don't know. I can guess that I'll tell them the real, maybe. If I was a married man and I laid next to my wife, whatever, several years, I'm like, look, man, don't look for this, look for this. Um, you better do this, because I'm gonna tell you, man, she's gonna be looking at you upside your head, man, or whatever. Just have guy talk and
Okay.
be honest.
Is the overall consensus for non-married guys to look at married guys as like you're the lion in the cage, like you've been broken? That even we go to the zoo and we look at the lions and you see that glaze over their eyes, like I used to be a killer, I used to be an apex predator, but now I'm reduced to a site for these people to come pet me and throw food at me. Is that how you think most non-married guys look at married guys?
Some guys may look at them that way. I could see that because if you're still in the phase of just trying to go through several to get to that one, what why would a young guy want to look at that? I'm still working on number two.
Okay.
I met this. I got lucky at age 15,
Okay.
and I'm 25 now. I'm still trying to get me some women so I can get where you are, sir. I don't
Okay.
want to hear what you got to say. So I can see that. Nothing exciting about that.
Okay. But do you agree that most men, at the end of the day, do seek some form of companionship with a woman? Is that the end goal at the end of the day? Once they're done with their travels and their journeys, they have all the accomplishments in the world. At the end of the day, does the regular man just say, you know what, I do want and desire a woman at some point?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But why is that so hard to just? Is that based off the grift? Will that affect the grift as well? To say, hey, eventually y'all gonna want a woman.
Okay. So for the content creator, yeah. For the audience, well, I guess they. Hmm. The audience. What I read in the chat room is, oh no, man, I ain't got time. These women this, they women are that. But logically, you're looking at them, listening to content about getting a woman or a man conquering, however said women he had. I'm like, well, why are you listening to this? So I kind of ignore that. But at the end of the day, yeah, you want some companionship some kind of way, a few minutes or forever, a lifetime, some kind of way.
How long should it take for an average man to get over a hurt, whether it be a bad divorce, bad breakup, child support? I know everybody's different,
Yeah, everyone's different, correct?
but realistically, like if this happened 5, 6, 7 years ago, or I shouldn't have to hear about what happened to you in high school.
Let's give them 3 years. How about that? Can we give them 3 years?
Okay,
I don't know about a
so
set time, but I'll give you 3 years.
okay, let's say we'll give him 5 years.
Okay.
With that being said, do you think that most men um, don't want to do the work that it will take to heal and move on from said hurt?
Mm. Well, do the work is to move forward, work on yourself, and start another relationship after you've done whatever you need to do for yourself. So, would a man not want to do that?
But that requires some
Mm.
sort of self introspection. Hey, say,
Right.
well, you know what? I did some things wrong in this. What about me that I can change and fix? It just seems to me that I think
Mm.
most men in that predicament don't want to do the work to better themselves for the next person.
Yeah, you gotta say that there are some men that don't want to. I don't understand just staying in the same place. I don't
Right.
get that.
Okay.
But there are some people that's like that.
But the problem I see is those guys are online 100 miles an hour and she's the worst thing ever and blah, 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 blah. Um,
Mm. Yeah.
okay. So let's shift gears a bit. There's a group, a sect, a demographic of said men that have married out of their race
Okay.
and yet still feel the need to talk about the women of the race they left. What are your thoughts on that?
My
Help me
thoughts
understand.
are you still want that woman. You never got that woman. You still desire that type of woman.
Is that exactly what it is? That's the conclusion
My
I've come to.
opinion, I mean,
Okay.
I don't like, I always gave the example on my channel. I used to say, I don't like green beans.
Okay.
Can't stand a little round green peas, sorry. Green peas. I don't really care for them little round green things.
Okay.
I don't go to the grocery store, go in an aisle, pick up a can and say, I can't, oh, you know what? These things are terrible. This one got no salt. This one got salt. Oh, look at this. Well, I don't like this. I don't spend time on something I don't like. Then put it in my basket. Go around the cart, go to the cash register, and she picks it up or he picks it up, getting ready to scan it. Boop. No, don't put them back. I can't stand them things. I don't like them things. After 2 or 3 times, they're gonna start looking at me like, "What's wrong with her? Why does she keep break?" She says she didn't like them. Why does she keep putting it in her cart, bring it all the way to checkout? When I get ready to scan it, she's like, "No, I don't like them." So you got to start looking at that person at that point.
Okay. It could, I'm being petty now, but isn't that a form of mental illness?
Yeah, that one's there's something wrong with that one. Yeah.
I mean, you spend your life fighting to get out of a paradigm that you recognize is no good to you or whatever future plans you have, and you do everything to get out of it. You
Mm.
achieved your form of happiness only to go back to complain about what you left and like what you fought tooth and nail to get out of. I don't understand it.
Now, with that, see, the only reason I'm not going to say mental illness with that is because I'm just the person, in my opinion, he's just giving you he's telling you he desires, even though he's saying the opposite, he actually desire that woman. I never got that woman. Yeah, I got that one over there, but I really wanted that one. That one
Right.
that did that. And man, that's what he's really saying, in my opinion.
Okay. So can we agree that this all the rhetoric is basically the woman that rejected them? Is this all just based off rejection? At baseline, like the last 8 years, is this based solely just because of
Um,
rejection?
I'm not going to say all rejection. That's kind of pushing it.
Okay.
It still, to me, it goes back to desire, fantasy, um, desire, fantasy. I'm still looking at it that way.
Okay. I like that. So let's stay there.
Okay.
So then I'll rephrase the question. This rhetoric of the last 8 years is coming from men that were the women did not desire.
Okay. Okay.
Because a man that's desired does not have time to worry about who didn't like him. Is that's how I'm seeing it?
Yeah, especially so many, you know. I
Okay,
can get if
right.
you're just doing it for money, like, well, let me get in on this. And then he go home, you turn off his camera, then go on with his wife or girlfriend or whatever, just
Okay.
making money off of people.
How much has the money, the grift, hurt their message, um, the movement? How detrimental has the grift become for them for that?
Are you saying the ones, well, my example, my last example is just somebody who saw a way to get in there and make some money. Are you saying that particular person or the ones that actually uh, want and desire the woman that they never had?
That's a good question. Let's go with number two.
Okay, well, that person is making money. They're getting a chance to say what they want to say all the time.
Mhm.
They're doing just fine. There's no personal development, no nothing. They're doing all right. And let's say that they're doing it secretly.
Mhm.
Maybe let's say 2024 they decided, you know what? I'm going to do some changes. Yeah.
Okay.
And they actually got a woman now and doing pretty well. Been with that woman a year. I can still make some money doing this. So, baby, you understand, right? Okay. Yeah, these women such such such. and he's still making money, and he did the personal development. He just didn't tell you, the audience. That's possible.
But how prevalent is that part of the grift? Like, me personally, I don't see too many men's ladies, girlfriends, wives, that's okay with their man talking about how bad the woman is for 3, 4 hours a day, every day, and still, and then you're gonna tell me you can turn that switch off and come and love on me and pour into me. That's not how that works. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but I could be wrong.
I would I'll look at her side eye. That's what I'm gonna say. I would look at her side eye, but maybe her self just esteem is that bad. I don't know.
Well, I just had to look at myself like, could if my wife was on some Cynthia G type, I couldn't every day, like, because eventually that seeps into your subconscious and you start doing things to that person you're not even conscious of. It's like, oh wait, I said this to you. I was supposed to say it to them, and sometimes
Mm,
you just kind of lose sight of you lose sight of yourself, and you end up treating your mate like you treat the people you talk about online. I just don't think it's
I could see
sustainable
that.
for so long.
Yeah, I could see that. But I bet it has happened.
I'm hearing stories about
And in
how.
fact, I know exactly. I'm not saying, but I know someone that happened to. That woman left, and he just went crazy. I may tell you offline because you may know this person. This is
Okay.
back in
Lord.
2015.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So that's why I threw that in there because it's possible. Even if it's just one person, yeah, that can happen.
Hmm.
But for most, no, they're doing that because they want either vent or and they don't want to, do anything different to change themselves. Because you'll look, I mean, think about it. It don't take a whole lot for a man to change. I mean, it's a couple of push-ups here and some cologne, go outside, stand up tall. Hey girl, what's up? She'll look at him different. What? Me? Oh, okay.
Well,
It don't take much.
uh, are you seeing that the men are failing to adapt to the new requirements and standards that women have today?
You got to give me the standards, what that is. Working.
Honestly, I don't even know what that looks
Because if
like
it's
anymore.
working, then hey, that's good.
Well,
Because a lot of women didn't even require that.
okay, I hear the term modern woman, and even I'm struggling to understand what exactly is a modern woman, or what does that look like.
If
And
she has breath in her body, she's modern.
okay, with that being said, do you have do men need to kind of change how they process what manhood is to kind of adapt to this new society that kind of has propped women up to a certain extent?
If you want said woman, yes.
Okay.
But think about it, everyone has a choice.
Okay.
Um, like, say there's a job that you need a master's degree. You don't want to change. Don't change. Don't get that master's degree.
Okay.
You're not going to get that job, though, because that's what it requires.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Um, do you think the younger men have a better understanding moving forward on how to deal with the woman as opposed to the elders that are kind of stuck in their ways at this point?
I'm going to say yes because they're around them more.
Okay.
Just graduated from school, go to the same whatever
Okay.
their entertainment is. So they're around each other.
Okay.
They know
Um,
what it is.
should older men have the I don't say the right, but should they be speaking on current dating dynamics?
If
If we
Google allows you to have a channel, you can talk about whatever you want.
Okay, I asked for a reason. Now, if we agree that dating norms are different now in 2025 than it was in even in 2000s, even in the 1990s, and you're one of
Mhm.
these guys that are just you've been so just ingrained in the old way of thinking. Um, should you really be speaking on things you don't know about? You know nothing about date. Yeah, we can point it out from the sidelines. Cool. Get out there and do it. That's whole. It's totally different. We watch sports or the plays, and I was like, well, this is what you should have done from my. But okay, then you get out here and show me how to do it.
Okay.
I mean, if you've broken it down to that, if it's that simply, why can't you get out there and show me how to do it? Should they be speaking on the current dynamics of the dating norms?
I get what you're saying. I've actually seen that fight with Steve the Dean and some other folk. That was an ugly situation. But um, go ahead and keep talking. Make your money, because that's all it's about. Make your money from those who are going to listen to you and give you a high five. Things are not going to change for them. They have the
Okay.
right to support who they want.
Okay.
Um, but as far as the person who wants to learn, eventually depends on their ability to problem solve and comprehend.
Mhm.
How long are they going to be listening to that?
What do you say to guys that have been listening to that for more than 5, 6, 7 years?
We, I would
Before
love.
you answer, but before you answer,
Okay.
I understand everybody's loyal. Everybody's we're all like little cults, like Jim Jones around here. Everybody has little cults. I get all that,
Hmm.
and but when you click this off, at some point, something inside you says, you know what? I, do I really need to? It's been 6, 7 years now. Like I would expect you to not. I'll throw myself out there. Like after 7, 8 years, I think most people should, it might get to a point where you, okay, Sly, thank you. I'm like, cool, on your way. Yeah, you know. So what do you say to a guy like that? To the guys that have been listening to, we're talking 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
I don't say anything. I just look, I wonder to myself. But see, I'm a person, I'll ask a question. And
Okay,
a lot of people don't like to ask questions. And that's why I changed my name to Just Ask Sure I Got Questions, because people don't like to answer questions. They don't. I had
based
one
off what?
guy of anything. Like one guy came in my chat room one time and he super chat and he said that he gave one of those percentage. I don't know what it was. 80% of women sleeping with 10% of men or something like that,
The hypergamy. Yeah, yeah.
or whatever. I don't know, whatever it
Yeah, yeah,
was.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I asked him, I thanked him for donating. I appreciated him.
Okay.
And I asked him, I'm like, were you one of those? And he
Ouch.
never answered. Now, yes,
Ouch.
that's personal, but why can't I ask him that? He could say, no, I don't want to answer that, but I know some that have or whatever. He didn't give me anything, not a
So that
response at all. So I have questions like that, but people don't want to answer them because most of the time you have to look at yourself. You got to look at you.
well, for me, I think they're easily identifiable. Clearly, they're 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 not in the 20% of the men that the women all pretty much, because you just wouldn't have to say anything at that point. You would have nothing negative to say overall per se. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, so this is going to be it for the next year. Just keep the money going.
This is going to be until you have to pay a little bit too much for
Okay.
YouTube,
Okay.
subscription base to have a channel, those type of things. It's going to continue.
Would you like to see YouTube go to subscription base to kind of to thin out the herd of the content creators?
No, let them keep going.
Okay.
Let them keep going because, like I said, a lot of guys they have felonies and different things. They got some situations going on,
Hmm.
and this is their only means of making money. So go ahead until you can do it no more.
Okay. I mean, I guess this is the new media, and this is a new form of industry for entertainment.
Yeah, I'm like I'm subscribing to this person. Oh, I don't like no, I don't like that. Oh, subscribe to that. I make choices, so they can be there. What is how many millions of channels it is? It's a lot.
51 million, 51
51.
million
Okay.
YouTube channels. Yeah.
Right.
51
So
million.
I could choose who I love to listen to and not. Yeah.
Okay. Let
Yeah.
me ask you, what makes you tick? What is your approach to life? Um, I don't ever see you get flustered because I've seen times when people come at you and you just and you've gone through things with certain creators as well, and I've never seen you break composure, lose your cool, go off the handle when you rightfully had the right to do so. Um,
Mm.
where does that come from?
I'm gonna give you a story. It's a lady. I was in training at a bank. This was in. Do I remember the year? Nope. I think this was. I know I was about 26 years old,
Hmm.
and I don't know what it is about older people. I just like talking to older people. For my age group, just they just talk too much or was yellers, and I'm a listener. So the lady was sitting next to me, and some of the guys in the back they were making fun of her. I don't know why. It was her hair, her clothing. I don't know. She was an older woman, so I was
Hmm.
like 27 or so. She was maybe 57,
Okay.
and they were making noises and talking about her, making fun of her. And she turned around, raised her voice, and said, "You know what? It doesn't matter what you think about me, but it does matter what I think about you." The whole place was quiet. You didn't hear nothing else. They stopped it. And I always been thinking about that for the last 20 some years. I'm like, man, so it doesn't matter what you think about me, but it does matter about what I think about me. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
And that's where I've been living.
Um, your viewpoint. Okay, are you? I guess is the new term to label people. Are you consider yourself man centric, male centric? Do you favor or understand the plight of men? Do you make allowances for why men are the way they are? Are you
I
that type?
understand. I make allowance. Yes.
Okay. Why is that such a no-no for, let's say, a certain group of women? Why is that a problem? Or why would you be deemed problematic because you think like that?
Mm, it, probably they may think it will affect female relationships, maybe.
Okay.
And I get it. I hear both sides. I get that.
Okay.
But for me to enjoy a man, I got to understand him. And there's just some things you got to do. Until I stop desiring men, well, I guess I'm going to be who I'm going to be. I have to do, that's what I have to do. Now, if I didn't like men, that'd be something different. But I love me some biceps and triceps and oh Lord, have mercy. Oh, and quadriceps. Oh Lord, a nice firm, just nice quads. Oh, they're just beautiful. Mm. Especially a bicep. The roundness of a bicep when they just man. But anyway,
Where's my water bottle?
next question.
No, I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, okay. Weird question. Should older women date younger men to help them through their dating issues or to get them prepared for that aspect of dating and mating?
Hmm,
I ask because
that's a good question.
it's a
I've seen it happen.
okay.
I've seen it happen. I heard that it's a good thing, but it's also a catch 22.
Okay, how so?
Ugh. I hate to refer to a movie, but there's just certain things that come with a younger man. The mindset, that's going to be one thing. And well, let me say this because I don't even want to think about myself. I've seen where women were just a stepping stone
Okay.
for a young man, and it messed that woman up. So there's some consequences to that. But if that's your line of work, and what I mean by that, I've seen women. Well, it's only one woman I know. She actually she was a prostitute, and she lived in my neighborhood. And I guess the way she thought, maybe, or she was used to it, she can do those type of things and teach the young man, and move on. It didn't affect her.
Hmm.
So I guess depends on who you are.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking when I ask that, because if we understand that, okay, this is not going to be nothing long term, and we're not trying to make a family out of this,
Hmm.
I think it will be a perfectly symbiotic relationship because, for one, the older woman kind of maybe gets to relive some of her nurturing instincts that have kind of gone dormant as she got older. um Clearly she will have fun, with the young guy, because that's the initial attraction. For the young guy, he'll have a mother figure that he may not have had growing up, that may have skewed some of his viewpoints towards women, and it may take some rewiring, some uh, some
Okay.
some some learning from another woman. Say, hey, that your mama did you wrong, but let me show you how it's supposed to be. And um and I think, and she could, I don't want to say stepping stone, but the training, she could be a training model, a demo, to a certain extent, as long as they both understand what it is. Like, I'm here for this. No, you disagree. You don't see it. You don't want to.
Squeaky, 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 squeaky. Once that start, it changes. It
Okay.
just changes. He ain't looking at her like no mother. He's just not. He's just not.
So you think it affects him first, or more often? Because I know a lot of
I
guys
don't
that
know.
had older women experiences, and they always look upon them with great fondness, like, and they couldn't put their finger on it, but it was something about some motherly type of way that she took care of him and kind of got him ready for the real world, per se, put him up on game. Even though I hate that term, but a lot of older
Mhm.
women, get have the experience that these young men will never have gotten from, maybe, say, a male counterpart, per se.
That's true, but I don't know. Like I said, I've seen both sides. I've seen a
Hmm.
prostitute was able to do it with no problem, and I've seen where in a movie, as well as a one woman I did see before.
Okay.
I didn't know her. Know her. I just knew of her in the neighborhood. It didn't work out too well for
Okay. So what would you suggest? Because we don't. Well, I guess what we're trying to avoid is another Japan, because their young men are having hella issues with whatever, with the women. So to avoid a potential Japan,
her.
what how would you help mitigate the issues young men are having with the lack of access to women? That way they don't have to come on these podcasts and listen to skewed rhetoric, and then walk outside with this closeted look, a blanket idea of how women are all the same.
Ooh, that solution. I don't know. I thought prostitution was the solution. That's what I thought. I don't know. I have no idea.
Hmm.
All I know, well, are they taking it from the women? Are those men in Japan, are they taking it?
No, basically you have like two generations of men that are just never been with a woman. They're
Mm.
like, you have two generations of incels that have never been with a woman, don't know how to interact with women, and when they do get a chance to interact with women, they're socially awkward, have nothing, they don't know how to. And of course, women are like, you, like, you don't never been with a, you know. And then they're rebelling against very strict moral moral codes. Japan is extremely honor system based and all that stuff. So these young kids are trying to rebel against that old way of thinking and try to
Mhm.
engage in more modern stuff, but they're having a hard time because part of that is women.
I don't know. Like I said, the first thing popped up in my mind was I thought prostitution was supposed to be the way to go, legalize prostitution.
Okay, what
Um,
could okay, I like that. What could a prostitute how could she help a young man in his situation or help get him ready per se for the
uh,
dating market?
I don't know about all of that. I don't think can she? I
Okay,
mean,
so
that sound like some training. That's some shouldn't that be from a man? A man teach a man what to do or how to.
okay, so would the prostitute kind of remove one less obstacle out of his way? Okay, he had sex. Okay, now he's not a virgin and he's not an incel per se. So now he's got that out the way. So now I can move on to the next lesson. Is is that how you're seeing it or no?
Oh, I thought it was just so he gets some. So that's why I was
Right, right,
like,
right. Yes, yeah.
well, depends on I guess how much money you got. Some of them women can have a training course. Like we're gonna try these positions. We're gonna do this here. You're gonna approach me. Start a class. I don't know. And
Okay,
make some money. That's for sure.
that's pretty smart if you think about it.
Let me get on over to Japan. What they need some help in? Let me create a business. Be my
Oh
pension.
my god.
What's that called?
I mean,
Money.
if you think about it, that's extremely forward thinking, and I think that's pretty slick. If you put that into a business model, and
Yeah,
it's not under like a brothel setting. It's more like an etiquette course, but just to kind of get the young men up to speed when it comes to sex and dealing with women. That
yeah,
that could work.
yeah. Set some up in like bed and breakfast settings. I don't know. You can get creative with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Think about it.
Wow. Okay. All right. If it pops up in 10 years, they got it from us, and we need to sue for intellectual property. Let me ask you, these talking points. Who owns talking points? Mind you, we're talking about the internet.
Merriam-Webster, maybe.
Okay, okay, okay.
Copyright statute such and such, such and such. I mean, how far are we going with this? Because I have heard that rhetoric before.
Well, do you respect it? To me, it's not a real argument. I don't respect it at all. When you hear people say, they're taking our talking points and they're giving it back to us, it's not even the right application, and he stole this and he stole that from me. I'm like, it's the internet, and the nerve of these guys to actually come here to think you said something before somebody else is to me ridiculous. But what's your take on that?
Well, you know what that's all about. You know what that's all about. Because think about it. If I go around, let's see, Mr. DJ Music's channel,
Hmm.
and somebody donate, and I say brown paper bag, are you gonna come beat me up? I
No,
say I had that sound bite. Yeah, I did that, and then she and see that's my talking point. I mean, are you gonna do that? It'd be
no,
true. I got it from you. I heard it from you first, but you know what? The person wouldn't say anything if it wasn't any financial gain for that person. That's
okay,
all that's about.
okay.
That's all that's about. So that was a good analogy, but then again, it wasn't because you wouldn't do that. So, but it was some money coming up every. Oh boy.
Okay, so is that the issue? Because somebody else is making money off of a discussion that was said years ago, and now the young guys are saying, well, let me remix it, twist it, and because I can make money off of it and you guys can't. Hence the issues of talking points being stolen.
Where was it? They left it on the front porch. I mean, where did they leave it to be
Yeah,
stolen? That's what I want to
yeah.
know. Where did they leave it? And once they left it there, why didn't they lock it up? I just want to know. I have these questions. I like to know.
and they're
And then
so
what are you
like,
going to do about it? Because you had mentioned they're saying they're not applying it or saying it the correct way. So is
right.
it your talking point then?
Okay. Good
That's
point.
my question to that.
Good point. So is that partial validation, partial lack of not being able to monetize off of it, and someone else is able to do so? It just feels like someone did it better than you, and now your butt hurt, and they
That's all
expect
that is.
right,
That's
and
all
everybody
that is.
expects say no. I heard you get it from this person. Like no one has time to go through and say who can. I mean, we all inspired by each other whether we recognize it or not. But no one's going to run around here talking about no, he such and such said this first back in 2000, whatever, so and so. And it's just a silly. I think it's a silly argument to unless like I said, trademark copyrights. I don't see it. So
Right. And these are words we're talking. And no disrespect for me actually being on my phone.
oh,
One of my supporters, it appears that they may have been blocked.
oh,
And I was checking to see, and I don't see them, but I see Mr. DJ Music say hello.
oh wait, I seen him. I seen him way early back. Way
Um, they said Classic Ruby is blocked.
classic. Oh my goodness. Let me. All right. Let me get in here. Yeah, everybody, chill. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm not even looking at the chat. I glance over every now and again, but I'm not even looking. But hello, everyone. Nice to
Okay.
see you.
Okay, so let me go through chat real
Here.
quick.
And Walt Diddy. Haven't seen you in a while, Walt Diddy. Hope all is well with you.
That man stay working.
And that's
Okay.
good. See, the man's busy.
Do me a favor. Tell Mr. DJ Music to type some in the chat because I don't see anyone. Nope.
He
I don't
just
see.
did. Um, or did he? Yeah, I see him. He said, "Who own words?" Ciova says
Okay,
she's
there you
not.
go. There you go. Okay, cool. Okay, she's not blocked either. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. All
Thank
right.
you all.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're adults over here. We're adults over here. All right. Uh, okay. See, I lost my damn train of thought just like
Oh,
that.
it's okay. Words. How many
Yes.
of us have them? Words. Want to capitalize on them? They're just words. That's all it is. I said it. You said it a year later. It seems like you got more people on your channel. You're getting more money.
Yeah.
So I'm going to claim that's mine. Now, what do you? I'll just say what you're going to do. Go over to the chat room and beat them up. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Nothing you can do. Yeah. If you can
Like
do it
record
better.
the word and say it over and over again more. How about
Right.
that?
Right. I agree. I agree. Um, you got some things coming up in the future. Clearly optimistic and excited about the next chapter in your life. Um, how is this? Was it something long term that you've been planning, or kind of fell into your lap and you just kind of taking it by the horns and running with it?
It kind of fell into my lap.
Okay.
No, we got a lot of people. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot. There have been a lot of some content creators that has passed away. We've been talking about the GoFundmes and all that. All they need is insurance, just a small little insurance policy,
Okay.
just for burial. That's all. Not asking for much. And there's a need. That's one thing Negroes gonna need. They're gonna need some insurance. I said, you know what? I need to get into that. Yeah, yeah. So I'll be taking care of everybody insurance needs, whatever you
Okay.
need.
Perfect segue because yeah, we've had a few guys that couldn't afford or didn't prepare
Didn't
and left the burden on family members. What the fuck? Like, I,
right, but you're six figures, you're a manly man or whatever the terms are now.
yeah.
You all of that, but you didn't have any type of burial insurance. Just a simple policy.
So Is that poor leadership on the man's part? Is that what failed leadership looks like? I respectfully ask that because there's no way your young wife should be GoFundMe pages, you know. And I'm picking on him because he's an easy target, but there's others. Homeboy that
Yeah,
died in a whole nother country, couldn't afford to bring his body back. Like what is
right.
that?
That's your household. Those are your household expenses. Those are things that you need, you know.
Okay,
And why wouldn't you take care of your family? You don't want to leave that burden on your family. I mean, whether you're married or not, you just don't.
so
And
so
see a lot of these content creators, all these GoFundMe and family members coming out, please help me. Think about it. The Manosphere really just laughed at that, like, wow.
okay, so apparently they were all a part of the facade. If we're gonna call it what it is, right?
Somewhat, yeah. Some of them, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Some of them. I mean,
Hmm.
what do you need to run a household? You need to pay your mortgage or rent, um, health insurance. You need checkups. Some men don't like that, so okay, they may not have it. I'm gonna be able to take care of that too.
Hmm.
But just think about it, if you have a family, don't you want to be buried? You don't want that burden on your family members that's left. But that's what kind of made me go into the direction I'm going into.
Okay. Can you speak to the overall poor health of men, mainly the older men? For whatever reason, they refuse, like you said, to get checkups because the few that have passed, they had, for the most part, one had possibly he couldn't have prevented his health issues. I don't, at some point, there was a turn in the fork in the road where they could have minimized, mitigated, caught it early enough, made lifestyle changes, and for whatever reason, it didn't happen, and they paid the ultimate price for it.
Yeah.
Do you not see any effect on because you? What I'm asking is, you should see more health and fitness being mentioned when it comes to certain content creators as they get older, and I'm not seeing that at all.
Yeah. And it would be nice if we did see more of that. Um, some one of the guys, let's just have a transformation. Wouldn't that be nice
Hmm.
to see him go from here to there?
Hmm.
But when it comes down to self improvement, I don't know. People run away from that. Change is hard.
Well, yeah, the last guy, shout out to C Boogie, when they jumped him so bad over the self improvement, and it just goes back to my main point that I don't think the average man wants to make change. It's too much work to do what you have to do. It's
It's
easy to
work. I
point the
mean, it's a
finger.
little
Yeah.
bit every day. It doesn't have to. You have to do everything in one day, 1 week, but it is a gradual change. That's for sure. And
So
AM1, I think I've seen him in here. He's
yeah, AM1, they be on his neck too. Not to be like, why the
AM1.
man?
You need to do more videos. I've been looking. I've been watching. I don't see nothing. He be on get ready to do a sprint. Then he gone, boy. He be gone. That
So
man be moving.
it, is that just outright flat out not wanting to do what needs to be done?
Not wanting to, afraid, because with change too, there's some fear in that too.
Okay.
There's fear in change as well. So I don't know. Depends on the person. It could be fear, could be laziness. Some think of some people like ain't nothing wrong with me. It's them.
It's them, not exactly. Exactly. I agree.
Right.
I
So yeah.
agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. Okay. Okay. Are you optimistic, pessimistic for those guys, or you're just indifferent at this point?
Mm, I'm indifferent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold you to it, AM1. You didn't know. You like Char Willie watches me. You didn't know that, did you? I know. If it's improvement, I'm interested in people that improve. I watch people, upperly mobile women channels, um, education, those type of things. That's
Mhm.
what I watch. You know,
Um, how much of your get up and go ness is self driven versus outside inspiration for you?
I would say about 75% is.
Okay.
Yeah, 25% is outside from mentors and other people that I see like, wow, they doing what over there? Oh, I can do that too.
Okay, mentorship. Why do you not see more outside of the typical coaching AAU coaches? Why do you not see more men mentor younger men?
Hmm. I really don't know. I'm trying to think outside of the church, I really don't hear much, honestly.
Do you think these men see it as a burden per se, or not a waste of time or a low ROI?
I'm not going to say a waste of time, but maybe the lack of attendance. You know, a
Okay.
lot of times people try to start things saying, oh, we're going to do this and come at this time. We're going to do this on Saturdays,
Mhm.
this time. And the turnout is so low, you know?
Mhm. The state of young black youths, young black males, concerning. What are your thoughts on that? Do you see it not getting any better? Do you see the next generation of young black youths continuing the problems of and the ills of of the society that produced them?
It's so scary now. I wish I had I can really point at one thing,
Okay.
but I can't. I see several things happening. I can see that there's no male structure in their life. The outside forces of their peers encouraging them to do whatever it is they're doing. And then when the young man get to a certain age, he got to try some different things. So he's not gonna, yeah, mom, yeah, grandma,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So just seeing that, and then depends on the city where they live.
Okay.
Like for, I know for Chicago, there's not a lot of jobs for young black men. Um, Summer jobs used to be 40 hours a week. And then it went down to 30. Then it went down to 3 days a week. And that was in, trying to think when she graduated. 2009? When did she graduate? I think like, just say 10 years ago was 3 days a week. So there's no jobs, you know?
Well, if it's one thing you could point to that we could fix, what would that be?
If we can fix,
One aspect that we could fix.
I say, can we? Because I can come up with some stuff, but it wouldn't happen. This is just wishful thinking. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't see anything changing. I really don't.
That's pretty bleak. That's a pretty
I
bleak
mean,
outlook.
I mean, what can you do? I mean, people are people.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, how can think about how can we change people? You know, you can say something simple like somebody throws something out a car window. Hey, don't do that. They be ready to, who you talking to? You ain't my mom, you ain't my daddy, blah, 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 and shoot at you. Just, It's all kind of stuff. So I'm like, people are kind of staying away. They're like, hey, you do you, and
Mhm.
you stay over there.
Well, I hate to say, but it seems like we did better while under some form of oppression. Um, it collectively just made everybody realize, okay, we're in this together, and we have an identified enemy, and I don't know. It just allowing the free will, then everyone's just gonna do whatever they want. It's just like, wow, this is really how it's supposed to be. Like once you take the foot off the neck, the chains off, whatever, and they're just gonna, once the dog realizes, oh, there's no leash, I'm out of here. Yeah, yeah, and
I don't
yeah,
know.
you better hope.
Yeah, it's like once you got more choices and things,
Yes, yes, the
it's
choices,
just like with
yes.
cable. Once you got so many choices, I don't know. That's what I'm gonna say. You got so
Okay,
many choices. It's just that I think that did it.
okay, okay. Um, well, I've had you on for it's been 90 minutes. That went pretty quick.
Really,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
time
Yeah.
flies when you're having fun.
I was worried I was gonna run out of stuff to pepper you with, but no, we got through it. I was like, shit, I'm run out. The magazine's empty. But no, but yeah. No, you're giving me a lot to chew on. Moving forward, what would you tell people, or what would you tell people to look out for, um, these next year, moving out, coming out with the election cycle ending, um, the the economics of what's pending. What
Oh,
what are you looking at right now? What are you focused on?
I'm focused. I'm looking at all the different type of people
Okay.
that I don't have to say the word, but the different type of people. I'm looking at the uh, anything that's being cut or added
Okay.
in programs, any type of education, if it's being cut or added, who
Okay.
is it for? When you're doing education, your continuing education, you're seeing more questions about um, other, um, which makes me think, okay, so you all are, the world is preparing for others. Um, what I had like to call it is the new Negro. You got to be careful with that because it looks like you're going to be replaced. Don't really want to get into all of that.
Hmm.
I'll just say go support Mr. DJ Music Show. You see
Yes.
some clips and he's talking about it. I just agree with some of the stuff, but go over there and check it out.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to Mr. DJ Music. Yes, indeed, 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 indeed.
yeah, because there's
Um.
things are changing and you might be left behind. I mean, what you deemed as something that you were entitled to, you
Mhm.
may not be entitled to it anymore.
Okay. Good point. Good point. Yeah. If anyone's looking for you, where can they find you to reach out to you?
My email is fine, justactshar@gmail.com.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I assume the barrier to entry is pensions only. Yeah. Okay.
I'll give you my little secret about the pension. Okay.
Okay.
The pension is an archetype. What
Okay.
do you think when you think of pension?
Um, I think older.
Hmm. Mature,
Yeah.
stable,
Yeah. Right. Yes.
couple of
House
decades.
paid off, couple cars. Yes. He vacations twice a year, three times a year. Like he's good. Like the
Right. So
pensions
that's
come.
all it's about.
Yeah.
That's all I mean by that. Somebody that's not out there playing around, dipping their toe in everybody's pool. My
Yeah.
pool
Because
would be enough. That's
well, yeah, the pension to me,
it.
it's a track record. Like this is what you've been doing for the last. You put in work somewhere at 20, 25, 30 years. They're like, this is what you've
Mhm.
been mastered at. You've been doing for the last, few decades, and now you're reaping the benefits, the rewards of your hard labor. So yeah, but yeah, the pension that will scare off a lot. I got no
Yeah,
pension. What
well,
you
that's
talking about
all
a
it
pension?
means. That's just the archetype. That's all it is. Don't be afraid.
She don't bite. She don't not not at first. Not at
Not
first.
at first. Not at first.
Char Willie, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
All right. So yes, you guys can find her mainly at Mr. DJ Music. That's why I always catch you at, unless I
Yes.
catch you in somebody else's chat, but I catch you over there all the time. So yes, go please go sub to Mr. DJ Music. And with that being said, I'm gonna wish you a good night, my dear, and enjoy your weekend.
All right. Well, thank you
All right.
so much.
Okay, we'll talk.
Take care. Happy New
All right,
Year,
you too.
everyone.
Yeah, yeah. All right, all right. Um, hopefully everybody got some out of this. I enjoyed it, and yeah, shout out to Char Willie. So I think I'm gonna come back and do some effery stream because it's Friday night, and yeah. So give me about 20 minutes, and I'll come back and we'll do something fun. All right, give me 20.